It was definitely much needed. But like I said, there was a lot of stuff that was going on. So where would you like to start off first?
Shoot, man, I definitely would like to talk about these playoffs and everything, man. This NBA. One and foremost, the Lakers not getting into the play-in, not making the playoffs is like okay, but not making the play-in.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Oh, firing Vogel.
a
You
scapegoat.
I mean, like, shoot, man, Russell Westbrook, man. I mean, how how low can you get in your career to where you pretty much had the opportunity to get a ring, like, and you didn't take that opportunity? And I understand a lot of people said
To
that.
get a ring where?
I mean, I when I look at it, right, I did my research and stuff, right,
Right.
and yes, yes, okay, they dropped the ball on Buddy Hield, they dropped the ball on Lowry, they dropped the ball on DeRozan. And me just saying that is a lot, right? So instead of, they got rid of all their defense, and instead of getting offense, which there were three people where it could have, you had a true point guard, somebody that passed first, in Kyle Lowry. We didn't need him to be like 30 points. We didn't need him to be like 20 some points. We just need him to be the first, a pass first. I'm gonna get it to where it needs to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, he has those nights where he can put out 20. You know what I mean? Doesn't get in foul trouble, plays decent defense. The guy's a ground veteran. You know what I mean? And he's a little younger than Rondo and everything like that. So perfect. He could have been there for, what, 2, 3 years. You know what I mean? Maybe two. Then you got DeRozan. Right now, DeRozan's probably, he fell off at the end of the year, but this is probably the best productive year that he's gone. And, he's just leaps and bounds this year, man. Like, the guy is an animal, right?
Mhm.
And, and Buddy Hield.
It's something about being on the East Coast for him.
And my thing is just like, when he was with the Spurs, like, I guess they wanted him like he was with Chicago, but the Spurs system didn't work that way. You know what I mean? And I don't believe the Toronto system ever worked that way, to where, Toronto, they just didn't have that thirds. Like, Toronto, we found out that DeRozan is not, Kawhi Leonard. Like, Kawhi Leonard played both, ends of the floor. And so now we know that, hey, DeRozan doesn't play defense. He's an offensive guy. He's a mid-range shooter. He's not going to shoot a whole lot of threes. He's not going to play really good defense. But the guy, 15, off the elbow, 15 feet off the elbow, that motherfucker busted. He
All
50
right.
up in that shot. So my thing was just like, if you're going to get rid of all your defense, then bring in all the offense. And obviously, Buddy Hield has just jumped leaps and bounds from his three-point shooting. So there's your three-point shooter. There's your veteran point guard that you wanted. There's your mid-range shooter that obviously you needed. Then you got LeBron James, and then you could have filled, and then you have LeBron James and AD, bro. Like, it didn't really matter who got off the bench, to be honest with you. Like, they could have kept Monk and Reeves and all that stuff, and THG or whatever his name is. They could have kept all those little guys.
THG.
Carmelo Anthony wouldn't have been on the team, because I think, well, if you had took the veterans minimum, I don't think he would have took the veterans minimum. I'm not sure, but if it just,
He probably did. But I'll say this about the Lakers. From the beginning, it was built all wrong. I think LeBron, he just wanted guys that he was comfortable with, more so than winning, because everybody looked at the roster, and if it was 2010,
oh
we yeah, championship.
yeah,
But now these guys are in their mid 30s, and you expect them to run with these young guys. I mean, everybody kind of knew that how this season will play out.
I just
It
think
would it would have it would have took them half the season to really get adjusted to one another. Then you got AD, who's injury prone,
yeah.
and he wasn't really living up to his end of the bargain. You know what I mean? He was supposed to be in his prime. He's supposed to be the one leading the ship.
You're right.
Then to your point, LeBron James, he's not really that guy that really makes players better. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and that was one of the things. Keep going. You're absolutely right. Like that, you hit right there, brother. Like that. I'm glad you said that. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, because you look at I know we're going to talk about the New Orleans Pelicans in a minute, but I mean, you look at Brandon Ingram and how he's playing with CJ McCollum with just a couple months. I mean,
Bro, they look like a whole different like team. Like I ain't
yeah,
never seen, like, dude. It's like they finally got a second scorer. You
yeah,
know,
but yeah, we're gonna talk about them in a minute. We're gonna stay on these Lakers,
as
these bum
far
ass Lakers.
as the Lakers, right? Okay, what I meant by they lost it, like Russell Westbrook lost a chance to win a ring. I honestly felt that nobody was willing to sacrifice their ego to do what they had to do to win. Like Fogel wasn't a bad coach. Fogel was just, it was so many egos. It was so much pressure. If they had to just, I felt like if he had to implement in his plan and the biggest plan was Westbrook, we got you here. We thought you would gel. We're 20 games in. It's not looking good. Let's get you off the bench.
Right.
Let's put with the second group. Let's put LeBron in the first group. And that gives us where we can save people's legs. You know what I mean? Like, let's save people's legs, because my thing is that, like, it was just, I just saw so much ego. Like, you could have put Westbrook with Carmelo Anthony. And when you did the second guys, then the second team fit Russell Westbrook, because Russell Westbrook, all he had to do was drive and push out, because also all the shooters were at. Then
Right.
you have the team where LeBron James and AD could have done their thing. You know what I mean? So we could have saved everybody if you would have just made that ego adjustment and sacrifice to where it's like, hey, what is the bigger picture? The bigger picture is to try to get a fucking ring. Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, why do these guys get in these situations where it's like they just don't understand what, like, it's like, and then the whole thing, it's like, oh, it's too late in their careers to be sacrificing. I shouldn't have to sacrifice. I've put my time in this year. But I was like, but do you have a ring though? Like, that's the whole point of winning and play. That's the whole point of competing in a sport. Yes, you get the opportunity to play the sport that you love for a job, but the reason why you're there is because to win a championship. Yes, marketing, selling tickets, money, all that's jazz. But why do, and then you're at the end of you have to look at people that were at the ends in like their mid 30s to late 30s. Like, look what happened to Boston. Like Boston, they were mid 30s. You know what I mean? Late, turning into late 30s. They got together and was like, hey, what do we need to do to win a championship? Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. They played their parts.
They got one.
And they got one. They beat Kobe to stop him from getting 6. Shit. Yeah. Stop getting him 7. You know what I mean? Like, they stopped him.
Yeah,
So,
I'll say this. I'll say this about the Lakers, especially how they handled the firing of Frank Vogel. I thought that was wrong. The fact that he had to hear about it on social media. You know what I mean? When
because he
it
came in
was
that like, man, I don't know shit. Then the next
yeah,
hour I was fired. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Then there was reports that Rambles and other Lakers execs, they were coming in making changes to his rotation, telling him how to implement game plans and stuff like that. So there was already too many
it was a
chefs
shit.
in the kitchen. So
Yeah. What is it saying? Too many Chiefs, not enough Indians.
exactly.
I feel like
So
going forward, right? Like, going forward, right, with this Lakers team, it's going to be very hard to get a good coach, because LeBron is so egotistical and dominant that he can't see. Here's the thing, and then here's with LeBron James, and not to sound like a fucking hater, but my thing is like this, guys. The guy, if you listen to this, the guy is not coachable. The guy does not help other people become better. I'm sorry. When you look at his history, when he was in Miami, he had Chris Bosh that was average 20-something points, and Dwayne Wade that was average 20-something points and won a championship. When he went to Cleveland, he had Love and he had Kyrie that were all averaging 20-something points. You know what I mean? Like, And then he went to the Lakers. Russell Westbrook, AD, all averaging above 20 points. Bro, the guy has put himself and to win and to lose 6. That's the thing. He's had great teams and to lose 6 championships. The guy and he's had an opportunity to get a coach. They've had opportunities to get great coaches with him, to at least veteran coaches to coach these teams, and he's just not coachable. That's why I said basketball wise, man, he tried to be something that he's not. Like he just, I don't know, man. Just when I look at him, he just, and then this season is on him. Like he has partially to blame. He's the one that requested this team. He's the one that said, like, hey, I want these people to be on my team. They made it happen. They didn't win. They didn't even make the play-in. The Spurs made the damn play-in. You know what I mean? So
it's like, matter of fact, they say it's the worst Lakers team ever.
Dude, he did worse than fucking damn Kobe's team. And he tore his Achilles. Mm-hmm. Dude, is the worst in that season.
Yeah, and the one thing about Kobe, you didn't question his effort. You never seen him,
what was it?
Lackadaisical or anything like that,
Wasn't it they're like the last 2 weeks of the season, they actually needed a game and he sat out? They needed the couple of games or what they were like, to do the play in, and he actually sat out. Dude, I can never imagine Kobe sitting out any game. Like they would have to like literally take Kobe's shoes away from him to stop him from playing. Take his shorts off, cut his shorts off. You know what I mean? Because he's not. he's probably going to beat somebody up for their shorts, and he'll play with the other team shorts in his other home jersey.
And you know what? That's the thing for future superstars that's coming into the Lakers. They have to live up or match what Kobe did, because his spirit, his essence, everything is with the Lakers, like it or not. You know what I mean? You have to match that. If you don't match that, then Lakers fans, Laker Nation, they're gonna have a problem with it.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is probably the last thing I say about it, but that sounds all good and dandy, but LeBron killed that shit.
Oh, definitely.
They changed the name. It's not the Staples Center no more. LeBron
came in, as they should.
Change the whole fucking mentality of it. It's not, yes, it's Mamba mentality. It's Kobe will always be cherished, but bro, like I'm not gonna lie, I feel like when LeBron James leaves, that organization is gonna take 20 years to win another championship.